I'm Scott Williford with vLink Solutions, and this is part 2 with Desiree Scales of Bella Web. And when we broke away from the last segment, we were just diving into some of the things that you help clients, small businesses, and some of the tips or tricks. I was trying to get you to, I want you to give us some help. I'm a small business and I want to grow. So what do I do?
Right. Well, the first thing you need to do is make sure that your presence on the web, meaning your website, because we have social media and we have all of these great places to go to learn about you, but it all comes back to a good looking website that represents your company very well and looks professional and tells your story. I think that's really important. You know, it's not just about having great images, maybe a great video on the website, but it's also about great content, you know, making sure that there's no spelling errors, little things like that, spelling errors, or even punctuation. If it's not perfect, I'm telling you, people do make, you know, a judgment within the first 3 seconds.
You know, it's interesting. I met with somebody just a week or so ago, and they went to our website, and our website needs some work, and we'll talk about that off the air. But we didn't have a home button.
Really? Okay.
You could click on our logo, and it took you back home, but we didn't have a home button, and it confused them. You know, so you got to remember that the users that are watching your site or looking at your site are, you know, they're not, if it's not obvious to them, they're going to miss it.
Well, and I'm going to tell you that changes all the time as well, because now we have mobile, we have iPads. So not only are people looking at your site with a mouse, we have to think about they're using their fingers, you know, their thumbs. So you also have to look at presenting your site on these different platforms.
So obviously it starts with a good branded, good quality website.
Right.
And that's critically important. What are the other things that you feel like that small business owners need to be thinking about, and how do they integrate all together?
Well, I think that, you know, once you have a great website out there, the next step is to make sure you're found. And, you know, even though we have great social media tools and you can spread yourself out, people still use Google and Yahoo and Bing, you know, our good old search engines to find what you do. This is a behavior that's not going to change anytime soon. Although now we're going to be using our voices to search. You know, we look at our new iPhone 4S and there's Siri, and we're going to be talking into it and finding, you know, what we need. So you have to be thinking about search engine optimization and making sure that your site is optimized in the way that it's built and in its content to be found on the search engines. And then you really need to have somebody who knows how to make that happen. And I would hire somebody who does this all the time, who is an expert in getting your site optimized and getting it on, hopefully, the first page of Google or Yahoo or Bing and other websites. You know, people are using Yelp now to find, you know, clients like restaurants and such.
So I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said that their industry is so narrowly focused that they really didn't think that they were going to ever get a client to call them off of a search result.
Okay.
But I kind of said, well, what happens if they search you personally, or what after? But will they search you before they do business with you? And so, what would you have said to this client? I mean, he basically said search engine optimization is not important to him. But I said, well, I disagree, because I don't think the next generation is going to tolerate. They're going to do a Google search on you or a Bing search before they do business with you. Right.
Well, you know, and then you don't necessarily have to optimize the website. What you should, though, optimize is your LinkedIn profile. Because if somebody's searching for a name, typically the first result is going to be their LinkedIn profile.
Right.
And then if they have a YouTube video out there, they happen to have a nice video, that will come up. So, you know, optimize the places that people, you know, the places that might come up first rather than your website. Best thing to do, go Google yourself and see what comes up and see if you are, you know, liking the results. So.
You know, I think there's so many changes in this. You mentioned earlier bringing on an expert, because there are a lot of changes, and a lot of things are going on, and the marketplace changes all the time. So what I want us to do is I want us to take another quick break. and do another segment. And when we come back, I want us to talk about, what do you see? Give me some predictions about what's coming down the pipe. You mentioned Surrey.
Yeah.
You know, that's going to bring a whole new realm of capabilities to the user. So,
Okay.
I'm Scott Williford with vLink Solutions. We've been having a great conversation with Desiree Scales of Bella Web. Her contact information is on the bottom of the screen, but please come back and see segment 3 when we talk about what's coming down the pipe. What are some predictions? Thank you for tuning in.